We have ourselves a lot of action going down both on and off the court here at the 2024 U.S. Open. I'm Brendan London. Let's talk tennis with NBC's Julia Elbaba. I guess we can start talking about, well, the $23 honeydews. That's one thing. I didn't know the price was going to go up. But the crowds, every time the U.S. Open is a vibe here. Does it shock you that each year so many people continue to turn out?
It is truly remarkable, the turnout. We've had record-setting numbers, and I think, honestly, that's a product of just American tennis on the rise. Obviously, last year we saw Coco Gauff win the U.S. Open, but this year you have players like Tommy Paul, Ben Shelton, Taylor Fritz that are really, performing well, feeding off that electric New York crowd. I think the fans love that.
You mentioned some of those names. It feels like this could be anyone's U.S. Open. Last night, Francis Tiafoe won. Novak Djokovic showed why he has a gold medal. Has there anything kind of that shocked you in the first round, both from the men's and women's side?
I was really looking at how Djokovic was going to play in the first round because a lot of what happens in the tournament is based on how he's performing. If you really look at that draw, it's Djokovic on one end, and then you got Daniil Medvedev, Jannik Sinner, and Alcaraz all on the other. So I'm like, so Djokovic just needs to stay steady, not get hurt, and he can easily make it to the final. And those three guys have to grind it out to, get a spot to play Djokovic in the final. So, I'm thinking that I can see Djokovic in the final against, my pick would be Alcaraz, but you never know. Those Americans, as I mentioned, can really sneak up on us and pull through.
A lot of competition in this tournament and in that playoff bracket on the men's side. Let's cross over to the women. I just watched Naomi Osaka continue on her comeback tour. Were you surprised that she looked so good?
She dominated. She was look good, feel good. I don't know if you saw that outfit. She was rocking this Japanese-inspired green bow outfit, and the internet is divided over that. But that's another story for another day. I'm not overly surprised, but it's good for her. She's had a shaky year since she, coming back, having a child, but it's good to see her playing as well as we know she can. On the women's side, can I just go into the picks?
Go ahead, go right into it.
All right, I'm just going to go right in here. Unfortunately for the Americans, I'm not feeling too good about Coco Gauff.
Uh-oh, you're going to get some backlash on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Why?
You know what? Again, another player that's had a shaky summer, emotional summer. She's just not playing as well as Iga Swiatek, who was our bronze medalist in pairs, and then Aryna Sabalenka, who I think will ultimately hoist that trophy.
So you think the emotions of the summer can kind of get in the way of some of women's tennis best players?
I think so. Women in general are emotional, but as a former player, I know when you mix tennis, emotion, she has a title to defend. She actually said her new motto of this summer was, if you have something to defend, it means you won something before. So that already you can tell that she's trying to take that pressure off a little bit. She's a performer, though, and when that New York crowd is behind her, which they will be, it could be a different story, but tennis-wise, Sabalenka, Swiatek final is my pick.
All right, from the both men's and women's side, who are some names that we should kind of keep an eye out on that can surprise us, maybe even make SportsCenter?
Yeah, on the women's side, it's not a huge surprise, but Jasmine Paolini, the Italian, she made it to the final of the French Open and Wimbledon this year. So back-to-back tournaments, playing unbelievable. I could see her having another deep run. And on the men's side, we can see an American do well. Tommy Paul, Taylor Fritz, Ben Shelton. Those are my surprise people.
Hashtag America. So what are you looking forward to most for throughout the rest of the week? What's your week like?
Ooh, I'm just excited to feel the vibes, the crowds, the atmosphere. This is my favorite Grand Slam of the year. Hopefully people don't go broke on honey deuces, But other than that, just some great tennis ahead. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot out here. Keep players healthy. Last year was very hot. Players were dropping like flies. So hopefully that's not the case this year.
Yeah, I hope I don't go broke off those honey deuces because you can't expense those when we're here at work. But Julia, thanks for hanging out with us. That was completely awesome.
Thank you so much. We'll be back.